Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to show you how to change the accessories belt kit on a Mark IV Megane RS trophy. So this is the kit. I will be using genuine parts for this. So this is the kit that comes from Renault. You can see it comes in 3 separate parts. So the actual belt is this part here. Again, genuine part, made in Korea. Then the belt tensioner is in this box. It's actually a Nissan part, because obviously the engine in the RS models is a Nissan engine at the base. So the tensioner looks something like this. So this is the tensioner that comes in the OEM box. It's got a roller here with a spring, and then this is the other side. Now, if you can notice, it says on it made in China, so don't be scared of that. Actually, the part that's in the car at the moment from factory is exactly the same, says made in China on it. But yeah, this is the genuine part, as I said before. And then you will also get the tensioner screw as well, the bolts that kind of like fixes it in the engine. This is the part number, again made in Korea as well. So if you can see it, this is a T50, a Torx 50 bolt, and it's a bit tricky to get to it, so we will show that in the video when we come to replacing it. This bolt actually comes in here, in this hole here, and then obviously it tightens into the engine, and then you can use it to kind of like put tension on the belt itself. So this is the part. Apart from this, you will need a 14mm wrench for this bit here, so you can release the tension or put the tension on the belt. It will be helpful when you remove the old belt and put a new one back in. And also you will need a special tool, which Renault call it MOT1368. If you Google that, if you put on Google, you'll see the tool. It's called an eccentric tensioner screw tightening tool, which basically is this one here. This is the equivalent from Laser. This is the part number from Laser, and it's labeled guide pulley wrench in here. And it says allows access to the tensioner adjuster on K4M and some K4J petrol engines for Renault, but obviously this is the same that is for the M5P engine as well from the RS. So let me open this for you. So it looks something like this. It's basically a metal bar. At one end it has a T50 or Torx 50 head, which obviously goes into the actual bolt here, so you can remove it or tighten it back with a new one. This is actually removable. It's basically got this square base here, so you can remove this and replace if you break it for some reason. And then at the other end it's got like a standard half square head, which you can find in any like ratchets and socket sets as well. So yeah, that's it. This will make it easier to remove the old tensioner bolt and put the new one back in. You could probably get away with using a standard T50 bit, but you will need to kind of like be a bit like creative on how to get to the actual tensioner bolt. So let me have a quick look here and I'll show you what on the back. So the accessories belt is on this side on the engine, on the left hand side, as you look next to the coolant tank. And if you have a look down there, you'll see this is the alternator. You can see the belt wrapped around it, and if you go a bit lower, you can see the actual tensioner is that over there. And then you can see on its side the actual T50 Torx 50 bolt. but as I can see, the access is very limited, and I tried to put my my socket wrench in there, but it's not gonna fit properly. You might get away by maybe moving the engine a bit up, just put like a jack under the engine and lift it up a bit, but you'll probably have to undo the upper torque mount and potentially the lower engine mount as well, the one underneath the car, to be able to move the engine up and down. And then maybe you would be able to squeeze a T50 socket and wrench in there and get that out, but I doubt it really. It's just really tight, as typical Renault engine bays are really small and tight. So probably recommend getting that MOT 13682 from Renault, maybe the laser equivalent. As I said, I bought mine from eBay. It's like, I think 20 quid I paid for it. So again, for £20, I think it's worth getting that rather than like spending time and maybe breaking your arms and whatnot to remove that bolt. Otherwise, with that tool, it's really easy. You just squeeze it in there, just pop it in the actual bolt and then undo it. Again, that bolt is not really tight. It's tightened to 40 Newton meters, so it's really easy to crack open and remove it. So I'll show you that when I get to actually removing the belt. So yeah, to remove the actual belt, it's easier to have the car lifted on a lift or maybe some jack stands. I've got mine on my quick jack lift here in the garage, and also it's easier to remove the under tray on the engine and underneath the car, and then the right front wheel and the wheel arch as well. So you can see mine is being removed here. If you don't know how to remove this, it gets stuck in with these kind of like plastic bungs, and you need one of these tools to remove it. If you don't know how to do it, you can watch my previous video of the gearbox oil change tutorial, and I've showed in there how to remove these. It's dead easy, as I said. Once you remove the front wheel and the wheel arch, you have access to the actual belt. Bottom side, you can see here the crankshaft pulley, the compressor, AC compressor pulley, and then if you look up, you will see the tension as well. Let me try to squeeze in there with the camera and show you what I'm on about. So I would say it's probably easier to work from underneath the car to remove the belt. There you go, hope you can see that now. So that's the tensioner. You can see the 14mm kind of like bung that you have to twist with the wrench, and you can release the tension from the belt and remove it. And then a bit up there you will see the actual T50 as well, which you can access from underneath to remove it. With that tool anyway, you can't remove it with the socket from here. It's too tight. So yeah, we will crack on with this and trying to remove it, and I'm gonna try and film everything, but it's gonna be a bit of a pain to film as well at the same time. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, so we are ready to remove the old belt. For this, as I said, you need a 14mm socket. Oh, sorry, it's a 14mm wrench. Just pop it on the bunk from the tensioner, and then just turn it clockwise, and that will release the tension on the belt. Problem is, my wrench is really short and I've got no leverage in there, so I might have to put some extension on it. Bear with me. Okay, so to remove the old belt easier, you need a bit of leverage on the 14mm key wrench, and then just easy to slide it off this middle roller here rather than trying to remove it from the compressor or the other one, and that would be easier to remove. Then once it's off, you just can release the tension on the tensioner, and then you can remove the old belt easy. There you go, it's off now. So if you've got a short wrench like me, use another one, be the closest number to it, and then make like a leverage like that, and then you can push it easier. So because that tensioner spring is really tight really, so be aware of that. And also my mistake was that I was trying to remove it from these two rollers first, the ones with the channels, and it's really hard to remove it. So it's easier to slide it from this middle one here, which is hasn't got any ridges or grooves on it. Just slide it off that, and then it will come off easy from the other ones, and from the alternator belt or roll as well on top. So that's the old belt off. It's not damaged or anything, it doesn't have any cracks, so I reckon it would have probably worked a lot more miles, but if Renault recommends to change it, then that's what we're doing. So again, it's not too bad, but better safe than sorry. Right, so the easy part was this, removing, although it didn't look that easy on camera, I reckon. Next bit, which is more complicated, is removing the tensioner. So let me grab that MOT tool and try and remove it. Right, so to remove the tensioner, as I said, you use the MOT tool with the Torx 50 on one end, and then I'm not sure I'll be able to film this in detail, but you'll probably get the gist of it. So basically you slide the tool in there and try to slide the T50 head into that bolt. Something like that. And then you get a socket ratchet. And try to undo it. As I said, it shouldn't be really tight because it's only 14 Newton meters, but there you go. It will take a while because this is not a ratchet head, so you have to take it off the bolt and put it back on after every turn. So it will be a very slow process, but it is what it is. Once you loosen it up a bit, it should go by hand. You don't need the ratchet anymore. So you'll just work your way just with the tool. Progress update. So removing this tension is harder than I thought. What I found is that once you loosen up that T50 bolt with a tool from underneath, it's easier to undo it by hand from above. So you can see there it's almost done. You can see there it's almost out. So I'm gonna keep squeezing my hand in there and remove it. You basically have to use the like 2 fingers to undo it. You can't, there is no other way. There is no access for a wrench or anything like that, so you have to remove it by hand. So I will do it off camera and come back to you once it's fully removed from the car. Okay, another quick update. So I finally managed to remove this pain in the ass of tensioner. As I said, it was really hard to get access to this, to remove this bolt, but I finally done it. You can see it's not too bad. I mean, this plastic roller, it's got a bit of a lip on it, a bit of, I wouldn't say, it's a bit aged, to be fair, so it could do with a replacement. I reckon this is the whole purpose of replacing the whole unit, just because of this plastic roller. Would have been easier if you could have just replaced this bit here, but again, it is what it is. You can see it's, the factory one is made in China as well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, so it's literally the same part. The bolt looks alright, so I reckon, yeah, if you want to buy the parts separately you can do it all this, but for the cost of just this bolt, it's not worth the effort. The belt itself, I was showing you earlier, doesn't look like it's cracked or anything, so it looks okay, but I'll replace it anyway. So yeah, it was a bit difficult to get access in there. You can see now there's a bit of space, but anyway, now I need to manage to get the new tensioner in, which again I reckon is not going to be easy either, especially putting the bolt back in and tightening it by hand and then with a tool, but let's just try it. Yeah. So I will set everything up and I'll come back to you once I get the things going here. Okay, so another update. Actually, this was easier than I thought, really. So I managed to put the new tensioner in place and do the T50 bolts by hand from above. Actually, no, I'm sorry. You need to slide the tensioner from below, from here into position, and then from above you just literally put the bolt into it, and then you do it by hand, as close as possible to the end. And now we need to do the final touch with the MOT tool again, and tighten it properly and then torque it to 40 Newton meters. So I'm just going to try and squeeze the tool back in here. Okay, so now I've tightened the bolt with the tool by hand as much as I can. Now it's just the time to torque it to 40 Newton meters and finish this off. So I've got this torque adapter that I can use. So let's set it to 40 Newton meters. Okay. Sorry, my camera battery just literally died while I was filming. So I was just saying we need to torque this to 40 Newton meters. I've set this torque adapter to 40 Newton meters. Now we're just gonna try and torque it. So I'm gonna squeeze this in here. Okay, that's about it. So now we are gonna go ahead and install a new belt, and that's it. Okay, another quick update. So I've installed the new belt in place. Again, it's not the easiest thing to do because the new belt is really tight from factory. It's not even like there's not much slack in it. So if you have a second person to help you, it's probably easier, but I'm on my own, so I had to kind of like be a bit creative. So what I've clamped my 14mm spanner to this like metal support beam with one of these like ratcheting clamps, so the tensioner is fully like released now, open, and that allowed me to slide my belt in. You can see it's really like there's no tension in it at the moment. So again, the hardest part is to align it on the top on the small alternator pulley, because it slides quite easily after that. Again, if you have a second person from above to hold that in place, it's easier, but if you're on your own like me, you might want to clamp this in place and then try and align it properly with all these pulleys and then slide it on this roller here, middle roller here, this one, and then all you have to do is release the tension on the tensioner and it should be okay. So I'm gonna release the tensioner now and then see how it looks like. Not the best position to film, to be fair, but I hope you kind of managed to understand what I'm doing here. So releasing the clamp and then slowly let go of the tensioner so it puts the pressure on the belt. You can see now it's really tight. Make sure you double check the pulleys with the channels. They're all aligned with the belt, because the last thing you want is the belt to kind of like snap or roll out of the pulleys. So it looks okay. I'm gonna check the top one as well, the alternator one, and then the last step in the Renault service manual is to turn the crankshaft pulley, do like 2 clockwise turns to make sure you distribute the tension on the belt equally between the rollers and the pulleys. So I'm gonna just go above and check the alternator pulley quickly. It's aligned with the belt, and then get a socket on here and turn it twice clockwise. So bear with me a second. So I have double checked, and the alternator pulley is aligned with the belt as well. So that looks good. Now let's put a socket on this. What's that? 119 is it? So 19. So look. Yeah, it's a 19. Let's get that. Small extension on here, and then do 2 turns down position here. Okay, that looks good. So I'm gonna start now. So now we are sure that the belt it's equally tensioned between the pulleys, and there is no risk of coming off. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. Again, not the easiest thing to DIY, but yeah, if you have the right tools and patience, it is doable, definitely. So you don't have to take the engine off or whatever the stories I've heard. Yeah, so that's pretty much it really. So now we're going to proceed to put back all the bits that we took off. So the wheel arch, the under tray, the right front wheel as well, and yeah, just get everything back to how it was. Just wanted to quickly show you guys as well, if you don't have the MOT 1368 tool with the T50 to undo the tensioner. There are a few alternatives. You can get one of these low profile Torx bit sets, which has the T50, and these are very small. This one goes on a 3x8 ratchet. If you especially have an extension ratchet as well, it would be easier. So you can just pop this in here, and you can reach out to the tensioner bolts inside the engine bay, and you can undo it easier if you don't have the tool, the MOT tool. So you can see you can squeeze this in here quite easily, and you can reach out the T50 bolts. Obviously you'll have to move the edge up and down, so if you pop a jack underneath and you jack up a few times, you should be able to lift it enough so you can pop the Torx bit in and then undo the bolt. So again, that's one alternative. The other one is this laser kit that I've got here. Again, these are very low profile bits, so you can see it's got all kind of like Allen and Torx, and the spline as well, the M bits. So if you have the M50, the T50 is really small, looks like this. I think this is like 1 centimeter, like 10 mil high, and you've got this wrench as well, which has a nice ratcheting system, and it will be easier. So you should just pop this in here, and it's very low profile. You can see how small it is, so you can squeeze this in any tight space, like the tensioner here. You can squeeze this very easily here, and you can undo it. So yeah, these are alternatives, even if you don't have the Renault specific tool for that. So yeah, I just want to share this with you. Just before I wrap up this video, I wanted to show you something. I know I said before that the old belt looked okay, and it could have probably gone maybe another year or 10,000 miles, but I was wrong. Actually, on closer inspection, as you can see here, I found a crack in one of the channels. So definitely make sure you change it when Renault says to change it. It's triggered me, because usually on previous cars I've got the Mark II Megane still, and the accessories belt, if you squeeze it like that, the old one, you can see it's basically cracked all over the place after 5 years, 6 years. So definitely this one, it might trick you looking like it's good, but actually on close inspection it's got a crack here, quite a big one actually. So yeah, just wanted to share that before I wrap up. So yeah, that's it guys. As I said, something you can definitely DIY if you have the right tools and obviously the right parts. But yeah, I hope you found this video useful, and take care, and I'll see you next time.